Morning everybody, I hope you're all well, and I think we're on episode 5 of Pilates in your pants now. I have had a nightmare trying to record videos for the past couple of days. Obviously I'm at home now, and I've got lots of issues, such as trying to find an area to do these classes. For one, I'm actually in my lounge. I've got a lovely backdrop here. It's normally my back lounge door window, but of course, because it's so sunny outside, you can't actually see me if I have the curtains open. So it's just little things like that. So sorry, it's not a great scene behind me, but hopefully you can see me okay. The other problem I've been having is problems with iPhone storage, and the camera just stopping just whenever it fancies it. So I've actually recorded probably about 3 or 4 different classes to find that it hasn't recorded any of it by the time I've finished. So this is a massive learning curve. I'm hoping that this class is going to be a full recorded class by the end. If not, then I probably will end up throwing my phone and the tripod and everything else out of the window, and this is the last time you're probably going to see me. Actually, you probably won't see me, because if it hasn't recorded, it's not going to have blah 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 blah. Anyway, let's give it a go anyway and see how we go. Right, so with this class, this is going to be a more of an intermediate advanced class. I've actually done this class once already today, so again, didn't record. So at least I'm sort of getting a bit fitter throughout this process. So I've got some weights. So these are 1 kilo weights. If you don't have weights at home, you can improvise. You can use stuff out of the kitchen cupboard. You can use little bottles of water, little cans, whatever you've got kicking around. You might find 1 kilo does feel quite heavy, particularly when we do the arm work in the warm-up, in which case you can go a little bit lighter and use ½ kilo instead. I know some of you have got these weighted balls as well, so these are actually really handy, and you can use these instead of weights if you've got these. Other things that we're going to use are TheraBand, if you've got a TheraBand at home, head blocks. I've got a 1 inch and a 3 inch pad. You don't have to use pads, you can use, again, a cushion or a rolled up towel or something, but just something to be able to support underneath your head. The other thing that we're going to use is a foam roller. So if you've got one, again, great. If you haven't, you can use a little step or a little stool, you know, one of the little kids' little stools that come out of the bathroom. But again, if you don't have anything that you can use instead of a roller, don't worry about it. Just do the exercise without. Okay, so it's no major problem if you don't have any of this stuff. Just a little note, this is a harder class, so if you have any active pain, if you have any shoulder problems, back problems, knee problems, if you're just not feeling particularly great, it's probably not the best class for you to be doing today. Just listen to your body. If you are going to do it, listen to your body. Anything you're not happy with, don't do. If you've got any change to your medical history, again, just pop me a message before we start, just to say, should I be doing this? But if you're fit and well and raring to go, then I hope you enjoy it, because it's going to be a bit of a body blast. And get some pumping music on in the background as well. I mean, obviously I can't have any music on in here for obvious reasons, but it's quite nice just to get the old endorphins going with some happy pumping tunes. So let's get cracking on. So we're going to hold your weights, 1 in each hand. Feet are under hips, and we're going to transfer your weight forward onto the front of the foot and back onto your heels. What I might do in about 5 minutes is just check that the camera is still recording, just to make sure. So I might just, once you're stretching, I might just pop around and just check that we're still on. Okay, so let's just do 1 more and then come back to the centre, and we're going to go side to side. So I just want you to transfer your weight side to side onto one foot and then onto the other. And you might find that it feels a little bit weird going one way compared to the other. Let's just do 1 more each direction, and then just come back to the centre. So we're thinking big toe, little toe, heel, planting down evenly into the floor. Okay, then we're just going to soften a little bit into the knee, so make sure you're not locking your knees out completely. And then moving up, we want to make sure that the spine and pelvis are in a nice neutral position. So if you tuck your tailbone underneath, reverse the other way a couple of times, and then we're just going to rest in the middle. So tailbone slightly tucked under, we're not overarching into your back. I want you to visualise your imaginary zip going from pubic bone up to tummy button, and we're just going to gently draw up through that imaginary zip. So we're just connecting into the lower tummy, okay? Make sure you're not bracing, make sure you're not over squeezing, it's just a very gentle connection. Shoulder blades are drawing down, and we're going to do a little blast for your arms, okay? So breath in, prepare. Breathe out, maintain that lovely position, keep your rib cage stacked over the pelvis. We're going to bend the elbows, breathe in, straighten. Breathe out, bend. Breathe in, straighten. Like I say, I've done this already today, so I'm going to be pretty buff, I think, by the end of this 4-week period, if this keeps going on. So we're going to do 3 more. And then we're going to change. So this time we're going to go out to the side and back down. Breathe out, breathe in. So again, keep the shoulder blades sliding down. Keep that zip drawing up, pubic bone to tummy button. Nice even weight going through the feet. And we're just coming up with the arms just up to shoulder level. So you don't have to lift up too high. 3 to go. On the last one, we're going to hold. Now, I want you to imagine you've got a big beach ball or a big tree in front of you, and we're going to close your arms round the ball or the tree. So we're keeping the arms wide and round, and then we're going to open back out. Breathe out, close in. Breathe in, open out. So we're keeping shoulders down, keep connecting into that lower tummy. Make sure that you're not losing your neutral spine. Particularly as you open the arms out, it's really easy to arch the back, so try not to. If your shoulders aren't happy with this exercise, please don't do it. So we're going to do 1 more. And we're going to hold here. We're going to turn the palms up. This time we're going to just fold the elbows down towards your waist, and then we're going to press back up. So we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. You may well start to feel a bit of an ache coming in now. So we're going to do 3 more. And then carefully bring your arms down, and we're just going to roll your shoulders. And back around the other way. So, we're not quite done with your warm-up yet. We're going to do some squats as well. So just going to take your feet out to the side, just a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to do ballet squats. We've got a nice wide stance. We're going to bend the knees down and up. Just make sure that as you're doing your squat, you're not rolling your knees in. So we don't want them sweeping in towards one another. We want the knees to be angling out over 2nd and 3rd toe, okay? So try and keep that nice angle through the legs. We're going to bring your weights in front. Keep the shoulders down, draw up into that imaginary zip. We're going to breathe in to come down into your squat. Breathe out to come back up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Every time you breathe out and lift, we're trying to connect that little bit more into your core. On the next one, we're going to come all the way down, then we're just going to come up half. All the way down, all the way up. All the way down, up half. All the way down, all the way up. All the way down, up half. All the way down, all the way up. 2 more. And then we're going to come down, we're going to hold it. So hold at the bottom of your squat. We're going to add your arms back in. So we're going to breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, bring it back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. 3 more. And again, keep those shoulder blades drawing down. Try not to come out of your squat, but if you need to, then do. Last one, we're going to stretch the arms, we're going to pulse for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up. Well done. And just shake those legs off. Roll your shoulders a couple of times each direction. And then we're going to pop your weights down. You're going to stand at the end of your mat and we're going to do some roll downs, okay? So before you start, just make sure that your weight is even, big toe, little toe, heel. We're going to take a breath in, imagine your wall behind you. Remember, don't move into pain, so just work as far as you feel you want to go. We're going to drop chin on chest and carefully we're going to roll down through the spine. So starting from the top, working all the way down, keeping the weight coming through the front of the foot. Hold it for a breath in and then breathing out, we're going to roll back up. Tailbone under, pelvis rolls up, spine restacks all the way up to the top. And again, breath in, breathe out, chin on chest, rolling down, breath in, hold, and roll all the way through and back up. And we're going to keep going. Let's just do another 2. And then on the last one, I want you to come down onto the floor. Walk your hands down onto the mat. And then I want you to stretch your arms out in front of you. Bring your bottom back onto your heels. And we're going to hold it here. So your knees are just under your hips, hands are going to go a little bit further forwards and a little bit wider than your shoulders, okay? We also have an option, you can use a 1 kilo weight again in your hand if you want, okay? So just make sure you've got space to stretch your leg and your arm out without smacking into anything, okay? So just check you've got room before we start. We're going to start with your leg, okay, so we're going to start with your left leg and we're going to take a breath in, draw the shoulders down, breathe out, left leg is going to stretch out, breathe in, bring it back in, breathe out, breathe in, bring it back, breathe out. So you'll notice that I'm not actually touching the floor with the knee as it's coming back in and I'm not touching the floor with my foot as I press out. If you want to make it a bit easier, bring the foot down and just slide it in and out here. So up to you entirely, okay? Foot down to make it easier, foot up to make it harder. If you want to make it even harder, take hold of your weight with the opposite hand and we're going to stretch the arm up as you stretch the leg and bring it back in. So you'll notice again, I'm not touching the floor with my arm, with my hand, or with my knee. Try to keep the spine in neutral. It's really difficult not to twist at all, but try and really focus on keeping the pelvis level and the spine in neutral. Let's do one more, then we're going to take it out on an angle. So we're going to come out to the side, bring it back in, and again. So really trying to target glutes. Let's do one more. And then just come down, give yourself a little rest. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So again, just the leg on its own first. Set yourself up and off we go again. We're going to stretch, bring it in. Again, foot down if you want to make it a bit easier. So same as before, if you want to, we're going to bring in arm with it. Same as before, try not to touch the floor. Keep the shoulder drawing down. Keep it as controlled as you can. So again, we're breathing out to stretch, in to come back. Last one, then we're coming out on a diagonal again. So reach the leg out, reach the arm out on a diagonal. But again, try not to hunch the shoulder. 2 more. And then come down and give yourself another rest and hold. So we're going to do a little bit more on hands and knees. A couple of different levels with this next one. So we're going to keep the block underneath your knees, hands under shoulders again, or a little bit further forwards, a little bit wider. Shoulder blades are down, make sure your spine is neutral. This time we're going to tuck the toes under, so you're going to support yourself onto the front of the foot, okay? So we're going to breathe in, neutral spine, connecting to your imaginary zip. As you breathe out, we're just going to hover the knees just a couple of inches away from the floor. So what I don't want you to do is to lift your bottom up like this, okay? So it's just a tiny little lift. Keep the spine in neutral, keep your bottom down. So we're going to breathe out to come up, in to come down. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Keep the shoulders down, keep the neck nice and long. So don't drop your chin down and don't tip it back. Now for some of you this might be enough, you might not want to move it on. If you do want to move it on, we're going to take the hands a little bit further forward. We're going to do exactly the same again. So we're going to hover the knees, but this time we're going to stretch forward. So we're going to straighten the knees, bring your weight forward and then fold back. Now if you want, you can come down in between each one, or we can just keep going. Okay, so we're going to hover, stretch, breathe out, breathe in, come back. Breathe out, breathe in. Out, breathe in. Let's do 2 more. And come down. And again, just lower the knees and give yourself another stretch. So again, stretch the arms, bottom back on heels. Just take some nice big deep breaths in and out here. So well done. So we're going to work a little bit more onto your side now. So you have an option. If you've got your TheraBand, you can tie your legs together with your band. So when you tie your legs together, what we want is to try and keep the band quite wide. So try not to let it just scrunch up too much. And we're going to aim for mid-thigh, so in between knee and hip. I'm going to tie a loop. And then another loop on top. Now we're not looking to try and have the legs tied so tightly that you can't move at all. The aim of the band is just to apply a little bit of resistance, so when you start to move you can just feel like you're working just that little bit harder. Just ensure that if you are tying your legs together, we want the legs to be pressed together when you tie the legs up, okay? The other option that we have in a moment is we're going to bring in some weight work as well if you want to make life a bit harder for yourself. So if you have one of your weights, either a half or a 1 kilo just in front of you, so we can grab onto that in a minute. So we're going to come onto your side. Now I quite like these big pads just to rest underneath your head. If you want, you can also use a smaller block underneath hip, pelvis, any other bony prominences that sort of stick into the floor, don't feel very comfortable. Just move all your rubbish out of the way, and then we're going to come down onto your side. So what we want is we're going to have nice straight legs. We want to ensure that the feet, the knees, the hips and the shoulders are in a nice line all the way through, okay? So if you look down at your feet, you shouldn't be able to see your kneecaps, okay? So we just want to keep that nice line all the way up. So we're going to come down onto your side. From here, I just want to make sure that you've got a little sense of space in between your side and the floor. So we don't want the side to be completely flat down into the mat. You just want to think about lifting up slightly. So if you imagine you've got a little blueberry in the small of your side that you don't want to squash. So we're going to zip up again, pubic bone to tummy button, connect there. We're going to breathe out, we're going to lift the top leg up against the band and then breathe in, bring it down. So as you lift the leg, we don't want to be flattening into the side, so keep that little space there. If you want to make it harder, we can take hold of your weight, stretch the arm up, and we're going to keep going. So a little bit more of a balance challenge. And if you want to, on the next one, we're going to take the weight down to meet the leg as it lifts, and then come up. And again, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Try not to hunch that top shoulder, so we're keeping that connection, base of shoulder blade, the whole time. So let's just do one more, and then we're going to take your weight up so it's just over the shoulder. We're going to add bottom leg in now. So we're going to lift the bottom leg, bring it down, and lift, bring it down. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Keep drawing down into that top shoulder blade. 2 more. On the last one, we're going to keep the bottom leg up. We're going back to top leg. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So the bottom leg stays hovered. Try and keep that knee straight. 3 to go. Well done, and come down. And just give that leg a stretch. So just hug it in towards you. Give it a little rub if you want. So we're going to go into side bends, okay? So we're going to come up. Now with your side bends, again, we have an option. You can use your weights if you want to. You can stay with your little pad just underneath your hip if you feel like you need a bit of cushioning. It's up to you. So with your side bends, we've got, you're leaning down onto your arm. You can either have the arm straight, or if you want, you can rest onto your bent elbow, so onto your forearm instead. Obviously, if the arm is straight, you can take it up a bit further, so it makes it a bit harder. We're going to keep your knees bent. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, let's just start off just having a little practice. So as you breathe out, we're going to push down through your arm, push down through the legs. We're going to lift the hips away from the floor. So we're coming into a little bit of a side plank. Now, what we're trying to think about is engaging into your side. So I want you to sort of draw up through your side, so really pulling through those muscles. We're going to think banana-shaped spine, and then we're going to take the arm over the top. And then we're just going to come back to a neutral position. So we're not coming all the way to the floor on the way down. So we're going to breathe out, come over, and breathe in, come back to neutral. Now if you want, you can use your weight with it. Okay, so we're going to press the arm up, draw the shoulder blade down. I'm going to breathe out to come over, breathe in to come back. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Draw up through the side, breathe in. Keep those shoulder blades drawing down. Three to go. Last one. And then come down. Excellent. Now the arm that you were just leaning on, we're going to take it over and we're going to hold it and stretch. Just breathe into it. Great. So let's turn over onto the other side and we're going to do the same again. So just set yourself up again first. And we're going back to straight legs. So like we did before, foot, knee, hip, shoulder, nice straight line. Look down at the feet. If you can see your kneecaps, bring the legs back in line a little bit more. We're going to come down and then lifting a little way into your side. Okay, we're going to zip up, same as before. We're going to go back to your leg lifts. So now we know what we're doing. We're going to go straight into your weight if you want to use it. And we're going to breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Keep going. On the next one, we're going to take the weight towards the leg, bring it up. Let's do 2 more. Take the weight over the hand, bring the leg down. We're going to go into bottom leg. So bottom leg up, bottom leg down. So the top leg is just staying where it is. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Two to go. And then we're going to keep the bottom leg up. We're going to go back to the top leg. Breathe out, in, out, in. Keep that bottom leg straight. Keep the shoulder blade drawing down. Try not to twist through your upper body. 3 more. Well done. And bring it down. Oh, give that leg a stretch. So back to your side planks. So we're going to come back up, we're going to go straight into the weight. Now we know what we're doing. Okay, so we're going to reach the arm out, we're going to come up, breathe out as you come up, banana curve, draw up through the tummy, take the weight over, and then we're going to come back just to neutral. So breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Let's do another 3. And come down. Brilliant. Pop your weight down. Give yourself another stretch. So arm comes over, lengthening through your side. We're just going to hold it. Well done. Okay, so have a drink if you need one. I'm going to take your bands off. So now we're going to turn over onto your back and we're going to use your roller for the next bit. Now, like I said before, if you don't have a roller, you can use a little step, a little bathroom stool. If you've got a small chair, you can rest your feet on a little chair instead. You don't have to use anything. We're going to have smaller support underneath your head with these. Okay, so 1 inch block if you've got one, or a towel just folded up. So we're going to come down onto your back. So your feet, knees and hips are going to be parallel, resting on the roller or whatever you're using. So we're going to start off with normal bridges. Okay, so we're going to try and keep the roller nice and still if you're using it. Make sure shoulder blades are down. We're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to scoop the tailbone under and we're going to peel up 1 segment of the spine at a time into your bridge. Hold it for a breath in, and then breathing out, we're going to sink back down from the top of the spine all the way back down to the tailbone, and we're going to keep going. Okay, so breathe out, roll up, hold for a breath in, and breathe out again, roll down. So as you're coming down, try to keep the pelvis as level as you can. If you find that you keep getting cramp, you can adjust where your feet are. So sometimes it helps to bring your feet in towards your bottom a little bit more. Keep it going. And we're going to do one more. On the last one, I want you to hold at the top. And we're going to add on. So we're going to come up, we're going to hold. Now try not to drop your hips. Keep your pelvis nice and level. And we're going to add some tabletop lifts. So we're going to breathe out, lift one leg. Breathe in, lower. Other side. Breathe out. Breathe in. Let's keep going. We're going to do a couple more on each side. So try not to drop down through the pelvis. Keep the pelvis as level as you can. Come back to the roller, and we're going to roll back down again through the spine. All the way back. Now we've got one more layer to add in. This layer can be quite challenging for your hamstrings. So if you're already finding that that was quite hard work, just repeat what we've just done again. So just do another set. If you're not happy with the next bit, don't do it, okay, because it is a bit harder. You can also bring your feet to the floor and do it with your feet on the floor instead if you want to make it a bit easier. So we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to lift back up. This time when you get to the top, we're going to stretch one leg straight up to the ceiling. So we're going to reach the leg up, keep it straight, and we're going to lower it down and press up. And again, breathe in, breathe out. 2 more. Bend the knee and bring the leg down. Other side. Leg comes up, stretch, keep it straight, and we're going to come down, press up. Again, try not to drop down through the hips. Keep the pelvis as level as you can. Last 2. And bend, bring the foot to the roller, and then we're going to roll back down again nice and carefully. And when you get to the bottom, hug your knees in, and we're going to hold it here. So, just going to move the roller out of the way, and we're going to finish off with some tummy bits. So, this is going to be a little bit of a blast for your tummy. We're going to keep it continuous. If you need to stop, then stop. Okay, so again, just don't do anything you're not happy with. If you need to have a rest, come back to it. If you're going to repeat this class over and over, obviously if you have done it a few times, you'll get the hang of the sequence after a while, and you'll hopefully just be able to just go through with it and not stop eventually. Okay, so it's up to you if you have slightly more support underneath your head with this one. Just go with what feels comfy. Okay, so we're going to come down onto your back. We're going to start nice and easy. We're going to gradually layer in. So before you start, feet, knees and hips parallel. Nice neutral spine. We're going to think about your zip, so pubic bone to tummy button, draw in. Just make sure that throughout these exercises you're not losing your neutral spine. So we don't want to be squishing the back completely flat into the floor. We don't want to be arching the back either. So just keep that nice control around the pelvis. If you feel like you can't maintain that control, then either stop or come down a level. Okay, so come back to some of the easier progressions. So we're going to bring your arms down by your side. We're just going to hover them up just to hip level. Take a breath in, connect. As you breathe out, we're going to come up into a little curl up. So we're bringing the head away from your block, making sure that as you come up, you're maintaining that connection with the lower tummy. We're thinking rib cage towards pelvis, but we're not flattening the back down. Okay, we're going to hold it, and then we're going to come back down again. And again, so we're going to breathe out, hold it for a breath in, and breathe out, come down. Let's keep going. Now it's really important with these that you don't lose your chin. So I could feel then that I was squishing through the front of my neck a little bit. So try to keep the back of the neck nice and long. Try not to poke the chin forward or back. We're going to do 2 more. On the last one, we're going to hold it. Take a breath in as you breathe out. We're going to take one leg to tabletop and bring it down. Other side. So again, every time you breathe out, lift the leg. Make sure that you're not flattening or arching into the back. Keep that connection on with your lower tummy. So you shouldn't feel any movement going on around your spine as you're doing this. So 1 more each way. And then we're going to take one leg up and then bring your head down. Bring your arms down because they might feel a little bit achy now. From here, we're going to just flatten a little bit into the spine. Bring your other leg up to meet the first leg. And then again, just make sure you've got that nice connection on with your lower tummy. Just come back into more of a neutral position. So we don't want the back to be completely flat. Just also check where your shoulders are. So we don't want to be hunching, and you shouldn't feel like you're bringing your shoulders away from the floor. So we're just drawing down into the base of the shoulder blades. So from here, we're going to stretch one leg out in front, and we're going to draw it back in. And again, and draw it back in. So breathing wise, we're breathing in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So again, you shouldn't feel any movement going on around the spine and pelvis here. If you want to make life a bit harder, we're going to bring the leg in and we're going to lift the head, again just keeping the spine in neutral. We're going to stretch one leg out, but we're going to bring the hands to the other leg. So the outside hand is going to rest against the lower part of the shin. The inside hand is going to rest against the inside of the knee. Okay, so we're going to hold it here, and then we're going to switch to the other side. And then again, we're going to switch and switch. So you can speed this up. We can breathe in for 2 and breathe out for 2. Again, level pelvis, connection on with your tummy. Nice long neck, spine is neutral. We're going to do 1 more on each side, and then we're going to fold the legs in. We're going to bring them together. Bring both hands down towards the shins. We're going to do your double leg stretch now. So we're going to stretch both legs, the arms come back, circle the arms, pull the legs in. So again, keep that nice neutral position. Don't let your back completely flatten. We're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. If this is too much, come back to the previous level or some of those earlier levels that we were just doing. Three to go. And then we're coming in, we're going to go straight into your 100. So arms down by your side, we're going to breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. In for 5. Breathe out for 5. In for 5. Out for 5. Let's add some leg in. So we're going to stretch out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, we don't want to be losing that neutral spine. Keep the connection on with your tummy. Let's hold it here. Point the toes, really get those legs nice and straight and strong. Keep going with the arms. One more breath in and out. and pull in. Well done. Great, so we've made it through, so we're going to finish off now with some stretches. Okay, so just allow your knees to bend, just roll the knees a few times each way. Great, and then just bring your legs to the floor. We're going to press the legs together, so feet, knees and hips together. Bring your arms out to the side, so palms are facing up. Connect into the tummy, and we're just going to roll both knees to one side. You can let your head rotate to the opposite direction if you want. Breath in and breathe out, connect the tummy, bring the knees back to the centre. And we're going over to the other side. So again, roll, breath in, hold. Sorry if you can see my pants. And breathe out, come back. And we're just going to keep going. Just do one more each way. And come back. Now this time we're going to stretch out your legs. So one foot onto opposite knee. If that's already stretching, you can just leave it there. If you want to increase the stretch, hug the other one in. And we're just going to hold it here and go back to your breathing. Nice big deep breaths. So as usual when you're stretching, we just want to think about letting go. So other side. Try not to tense through your tummy when you're stretching, or your pelvic floor or your glutes. Just think about letting everything relax. Okay, so let's do your hamstrings as well. So we can just use your TheraBand for these. If you've got a magic circle, that will do fine as well. Tie this up good and proper. So, band is going to go around the base of one foot, and we're just going to stretch that leg up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to hold it here. Now remember, don't force it to the point where your leg is shaking. It should be a comfortable, gentle stretch. You can slide the other leg down if you want. We can point and flex the ankle if you want to. You can just keep it still and focus on your breathing. So whichever way you want to do it is fine, but we're just going to hold. And then let the knee bend, and we'll switch to the other one. Well done. Okay, so carefully come onto your side and then over onto hands and knees, and we can go back to using your little pad under your knees if you want to. So we're just going to do some cat stretches here. So take a breath in, breathe out. We're going to tuck tailbone under, curling up through the spine, hold for a breath in and come back down. And again, keep going. Let's just do one more. And then stretch your arms bottom back on heels. Hold it here and breathe. And then nice and carefully, we're just going to come up into standing. So as usual, don't get up too quickly. Make sure your head feels all right before you come up. And we're just going to finish just with a couple of bits here as well. So I just want you to take your feet slightly wider than your hips, turn the toes out to the side, and we're going to take your arms out. So your palms are just facing forwards, shoulder blades are down, and we're just going to do some spinal rotations here. So we're just going to rotate round to one side and take it back to the centre. And other way. And bring it back. And again. And bring it back. On the next one, we're going to turn, but we're going to take opposite hand down towards foot. Obviously be careful and come up and centre. So just be really careful, don't force anything. Down and up and centre. And come back, lovely. And then just bring your arms down. We're just going to finish with a couple of roll downs like we did at the beginning. So just bring your feet underneath your hips. We're going to link your fingers. We're going to stretch your arms up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to come up onto balls of feet. Hold it for a breath in. Breathe out. We're going to bring your arms down first, followed by heels. And then we're going to roll down. So chin on chest, rolling down through the spine. Hold it at the bottom for a breath in. Breathe out, we're going to roll back up. Let's just do one last one. So again, link your fingers, press up. Up onto balls of feet. Breath in, hold. And then breathe out, arms come down. And heels. Last time rolling down, so chin on chest. Breath in, hold, and breathing out. We're going to roll back up again. Well done. So, well done you. A little bit of a harder one. Hopefully you feel okay. As usual, any problems whatsoever, message me. And hopefully now I have got the hang of doing this at home and things are going to be a little bit smoother from here on in. It's all a bit of a learning curve, all this, but I hope that was okay. Any comments, feel free to stick them into the comments box underneath. Like I said, any problems, obviously feel free to drop me a message and I'll see you soon. Okay, take care for now. Bye.